So, guys, welcome once again. And on this episode of ATF, we welcome our local brother Shakes. Shakes will go forward in W as our local guru. Welcome to All Things Football, and it's a great pleasure to have you on the show, my man.
Oh man, look, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I really do appreciate it. I saw some of the content you guys did previously. I think I saw one with Jim Beglin as well. That's really top stuff, guys. Big ups to you guys on that. So it's a pleasure to be on the same platform, such as the likes of Jim Beglin.
So on that point, Shakes, I mean, before we even started the call, you've told us that you are a Kaizer Chiefs fan. I'd like to just touch on Kaizer Chiefs and focus on them just to get us kicked off. Of course, they've had a bit of a tough start to the league. They picked up 3 wins in a row recently, and then they drew against Baraka today. Personally, for me, I think they were lucky to take the maximum 3 points up against Cape Town City because they were under pressure and under the confidence second half. But my question to you, Shakes, is what do you make of the start of the season that Chiefs have had under Gavin Hunt? And talking about Hunt, I'm almost inclined to compare him to Jose Mourinho in that they both very successful coaches or managers, but perhaps in Hunt's case, his style doesn't suit Kaizer Chiefs. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think, of course, Gavin Hunt is a very successful coach, one of the best that coaches that South Africa's ever had in the country. And I think him coming to Kaizer Chiefs was a big move for him because we've seen him with Wits, we've seen him with Supersport, but the question was always when the big three, when is it going to be Bafana Bafana? When are you going to be able to go up for those clubs? And he came in, and I think the start, I always, to be fair, as a Chiefs fan as well, and analyzing them, I've always known this was not going to be an easy season because I think what people tend to forget is last season, despite Kaizer Chiefs losing the league on the last day, their last 12 games, they only managed to win 3 games. The last 12 games in all competitions, they only managed to win 3. So the boat was rocking already when the season was coming to an end. So now he gets this group of players. He's not able to buy any players, bring in any of his own players as well. So he has to make it work. And honestly speaking, Kaizer Chiefs is an aging squad as well, guys. You've got a lot of players that are over 30. Yeah, some of them in their mid 30s as well. So he was trying to find out his best team, and in trying to find that out, sometimes he had to lose some blood and lose some points and take some jabs. So I think maybe what's best for Gavin Hunt, maybe the expectation I have of him is just make top 8, and next season the team will change. I'm 100% sure the team will change.
Also, Shakes, Chiefs are playing Champions League football for the first time on the group stage, certainly. How do you think that might impact on the league form when that competition kicks off?
That 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 could that could impact them negatively a little bit. The reason why I say negatively is because he's not able to buy players. He's not even able to buy players in the next window that comes in. He's going to have to wait till the end of the season, and now he's forced to play 6 extra group games and go travel as well. And already the squad is picking up injuries as well. So honestly speaking, I think the squad can't stretch that far. It just can't. It can't go that far. It just can't. That's why Sundowns have the squad that they have, and Chiefs doesn't have that squad with so many quality players. So it could impact them negatively. I actually thought it would have been best if they were knocked out of the CAF, purely because I just didn't think their squad would have been able to handle it. Plus, remember the Nedbank Cup is also coming around as well.
Yeah, yeah, true.
It's just
Look,
coming.
can I just jump in quickly on the Gavin Hunt thing? Look, I watched one of the Champions League games and one of the CAF games, and I think Chiefs were streaming it either on YouTube or one of the platforms, so there was no commentary, right? And I was listening to like the background noises. Hunt was absolutely berating the players. He was like, I just thought he's like quite harsh, but I thought maybe it's for once-off game. But I look at the comments now after the draw now to Baraka, and I was like, he's blaming the 2 defenders because they weren't getting to the balls in time or whatever. he's like constantly blaming players. He's blaming like the fixture list, like, as you say. Okay, look, to be honest, it is, it's quite tough. There's quite a few fixtures, but it's just, I don't know. I don't like, that type of managerial style where he's constantly blaming players, and you could hear like on the pitch as well, like how he just goes at the players. It's like, for me personally, I don't think that's something that would personally uplift me as a player. What do you think of like how the players are receiving that?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There is, especially with the modern day player, there's a certain way you have to
Yeah.
be able to motivate
Mm,
them. I was actually having this conversation with someone about this, was to say, I think, like for example, Jose Mourinho at Tottenham is not the Jose Mourinho that was at Manchester United.
yeah.
He's had to adapt. He's had to
Mm,
adapt to
Yes.
the modern day player. So it's, you can't berate a player and shout at a player like that. Sometimes you have to put your arm over them, and that is them. You have to cuddle them a little bit, right? You have to cuddle
mm,
them a little bit. That's the new age player. So when you look at the teams in the past that Gavin Hunt as well as Jose were able to be successful with, you look at the men that were in the team, the Morgan Golds that were in the team, the Andre Aronses that were in the team, the
mm,
Cambiasos that were in the team, the Materazzis that were in the team. I mean, you probably could have told Materazzi anything and he wouldn't have taken it personally, at Inter. That's why he won the
mm,
Champions League there. So in today's time, it's not good, but at the same time, I do feel that some of the players at Kaizer Chiefs do need a little bit of some motivation. I'm not trying to condone it, but I do feel that I just don't think they understand what the fans have gone through. And when I say that, I mean, if you look at 2 seasons ago, they were in a cup final that any team in the PSL would have taken. You up against the team in the NFD, which is the second division of the country, which is TS
mm,
Galaxy. You have only one job to do: win the thing and end the trophy drought. That didn't happen. Season 2 comes into play. You go on top of the league for months, and I'm talking months, and you lose the league title on the last day
yeah.
against
Yeah.
Baroka, not Sundowns, not Pirates, not Cape Town City. No, it's Baroka. You had one job to do: win the game, and we're done. And they were not able to do that. So I do think some of them do need a little bit of. They need to up their performances, some of them, and they have been getting away with some bad performances. And that's why I really believe at the end of the season, when he's capable of buying players, that squad is going to change a lot. It's gonna,
Mm,
because also he had a recent interview as well. He spoke about some players have to work hard. When they asked him about, I think they asked him about the likes of Itumile Kune, they have to work hard to get back into the team. And I think some of these players need that. I think they do need a little bit of motivation of, guys. I think Chiefs, you guys have let down the fans for quite some time, and Kaizer Chiefs is arguably the most supported team in South Africa. So I think some players need that. Is it right in today's times? No, it's definitely not right. But sometimes players do need a kick up their backside.
Shakes, if we look at the season thus far, it's been a quite exciting season in that if the title race, currently there's 3 teams level on points at the top. But I want to speak about Swallows, Morocco Swallows, a Soweto giant of South African football, and to see them back at the top after, what happened to them previously, it's actually very refreshing for the league, and I think it's great for everyone. And as a neutral, I mean, I support Cape Town City, but I'm very, very happy to see Swallows doing well. What do you make of the run thus far?
I'm happy to have them back. A secret that nobody knows. So this is an exclusive for all things football. I actually used to work at Swallows. I
Oh,
worked
sweet.
at yeah, yeah. While I was studying my final year, and I had a bit of a role there from an admin side. And unfortunately, it was the year they got relegated,
Oh,
2015, if I remember well, 2015, 2014. They got relegated, unfortunately, but to have them back is really great. They're a great club. They're well supported, and as well as they're very old too. I think they're older than Kaizer Chiefs as a football club as well. And to also see them, if you had asked me at the start of the season that after 12 games, the team that will be level on points with Mamelodi Sundowns is going to be Swallows FC, I probably would have said no ways. Not with Pirates there. I mean, not with
mm,
Cape Town City there. They've got a good squad as well. So to see them level on points is great, and it's a breath of fresh air. And I wish Brendan Truter and the troops all the best. Do I think they'll win the league? It's going to be tough, but after how they dealt with Pirates and how they dealt with Sundowns, getting a point from each game away, by the way, is a huge, huge statement. And I think they must watch out for them.
Yeah, I think just if we stick with Swallows, and it's like if I look at the top 3 teams, there's always like that star man and that star performer. So they've got Riaz Hamed, and if you look at SuperSport, they've got Groble and Temba Zwane. Okay, Sundowns are a bit spoiled for choice. They got Zwane and they got Shalom. I mean, yeah. So I mean, who do you see? Okay, Groble is pulling away a bit, but who do you see finishing as a top goal scorer this season?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because there's a lot of people that have sort of put their hands up, especially this season. I think also Justin Schonga going to Cape Town City, guys, is a good signing. Eh?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
once he gels with Cape Town City, I think he's going to be able to score a number of goals. But I think Grobler's aging like fine wine, guys. Hey, I mean, what do you guys think?
I think he turned 32 in the week, eh? So yeah, he's amazing. Like he's still up there.
And then one thing I love is his role at SuperSport. If you guys look at him, is that he doesn't do so much in the team. It's all about being at the right place at the right time, and he's always managing to. There we go. Almost like that Vardy thing at Leicester. He doesn't touch the ball as much, but he'll come off the pitch with 12 touches and 2 goals, and you're like, how did that happen? You're like, wait, when did that happen? I never saw you touch the ball. So I think he's getting better in terms of movements off the ball, and he can finish left foot, right foot. He can finish, and I think he can score 20 goals if he wants, over 20 goals for sure.
Yeah, Shakes, you touched on him changing the type of player he's become. I remember seeing him at Ajax, at the start of the decade, and it's nice to see someone really become an instinctive striker in the way that he's become.
Yes.
I think in the modern day, we expect a lot of players to just keep pressing and keep closing down and putting in the hard yards, but he plays off the shoulder of the last man. Like you said, he's all about finishing. It's fantastic to see. And even at his age, do you think that a call up to Bafana is warranted?
Yeah, that's a hard conversation with Bafana. I think the good thing about Bafana is that there's a lot of players that are playing overseas, and there's a lot of players that are really doing well overseas. I think there's also young players that are coming up. For example, in today's game with Orlando Pirates and TS Galaxy, we had a player who was 18 years old, Azola, who played for Orlando Pirates. So that's a good thing. Nobo, who plays for Kaizer Chiefs, he's 21. He's playing really well as well. I think Mobara as well is still, he can definitely get better from a defensive standpoint. So is Bradley Grobler, the problem with Bradley Grobler, if he carries on scoring the way he does, he definitely warrants a Bafana call-up. But I think there has to come a time where Bafana needs to phase out with some of the older generation, and let's start with the younger ones. And we're gonna take some batterings. It's gonna happen. But eventually, when we start with the younger players, within 3-4 years of them playing together, they'll be so much better for sure on the way there. So, will Bradley Grobler being called up, I think maybe to put an arm over Lau Foster if he wants, or put an arm over Luther Singh maybe, and tell him how to move, where to be. But he shouldn't be hey, we're going to qualify for the next World Cup and we are going with Bradley Grobler. It shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Shakes, speaking of Soweto Giants, we've covered Chiefs, we've covered Swallows, but we haven't spoken about Orlando Pirates. You touched on the youngster today, but what do you make of their season thus far? They're not far behind in terms of the title race, but they've also not been, firing on all guns blazing. So what do you make of them?
They are so, yeah, I have to watch what I say. Hey, the reason why I have to watch what I say is because for me personally, for a guy who watches football, I think Orlando Pirates is the most frustrating team in the country. And I say that because I personally feel they've got the second best squad within the league after Mamelodi Sundowns. And the way that they play, I mean, they can one day batter TTM and score 3 goals. They can one day draw a game against Amazulu, and then one day they can just lose a game, and you just think, where's the consistency? The consistency is not there. And to be fair, not a lot of teams are consistent, but the teams above them, the likes of Swallows, the likes of Sundowns, the likes of Supersports, are far more consistent than what Orlando Pirates is, and they should be playing a lot better. And also for the quality that they have, if you look at the firepower with Mango there, with Lorch there, with Pule there, they've got so much they can rotate. Lepasa will come back from injury eventually. Serovato Mabasa was there, he's injured too, but they've got so much that they can rotate in the forward line and score so many goals. But you look at this season, they haven't scored enough, and I think they've actually conceded too much goals as well. And I thought the likes of Hlatoya coming to the team would have been, the Bafana captain, would have been much better and made them more solid at the back. But at the same point, they are the most frustrating team. What do I think of their season? I think it's very inconsistent. They should be doing a lot better. Orlando Pirates, I will say that.
Yeah, it was Pirates. Case in point is they beat ETM 3-0 convincingly. I watched that game. They were superb, but they could have even scored more. And then they went and lost to Black Leopards 2-0. So it speaks to exactly what you're saying, Shakes. And then just one question on Shakes. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, right? I mean, who would you like to see come into the squad? Who would you like to see the club sign? Sipho Mbule maybe getting a mention?
Okay, well, I mean, look, there's a lot of players that Kaizer Chiefs have been linked with before the season started. There was Monare's name that was being thrown around. There was Nange's name before he went to Stellenbosch, and obviously they upheld the transfer ban. At the end of the season, I mean, who would I like for Kaizer Chiefs to sign? I think, funny enough, Goodman Musele from Baroka, he's actually a decent player. Yeah, I think he played really well, despite him scoring the own goal. I think he played really well. I do think that at some point they have to look at. They've got goalkeepers, right? But you sort of think of who is the next crop after Akpay and Kune. Is it Vuma? And you think, is Vuma good enough though? So that's the question you ask yourself: is he good enough? And it would be nice to prize away Ronan Williams. I mean, he's a very good goalkeeper as well, and he probably still has 10 years under his belt to play. Sipho Mbule would be great. They've got a good structure at Supersport as well. So if they're playing a lot at Supersport and it benefits Bafana, probably would be good that they stay there. Any other player that I would like? Cape Town City have a nice player, Nodada as well. Thabo Nodada is a nice player, If you wanted,
off limits, bro.
Yeah, if he wanted, at the end of the season, he can definitely. Also, another thing is we haven't heard much from Butlem Kwanazi, so I don't know where he's at. But once the season starts again, it would be nice for him to have a club. We have to have Butlem Kwanazi playing football again. We definitely have to have him playing football again. But those are some of the players I would say, yeah, it would be nice for Kaizer Chiefs to have.
Usually was actually linked with Pirates, I think, 2 weeks back. But shame, man. It's actually sad to see, a Wits player that's like basically out of work. And I mean, really one of the best defenders we have in the country. But Shakes, you know what? To be honest with you, we really need another episode with you to cover, like all of these things, man. Really. But I think just to end off from my side, like you touched on Cape Town City, right? And the ambitious, how ambitious they are. I think with the signing of Justin Shonga, I mean, it shows like how determined they are to win the league. We haven't done Sane that's like from midfield. He's like one of the top goal scorers in the league. Where do you see them finishing the season? I just want an unbiased point of view.
Unbiased point of view. Cape Town City, if you guys are watching this, I mean no malice when I say this. I think Cape Town City will finish 4th or 5th. And the reason being is because they've got good players, they score a lot of goals, but Cape Town City concede a lot of goals, guys. Wow, they concede a lot of goals. Yeah. This team, they love winning a game 3-2, 4-2, 2-1. It's just in Cape Town City's system. And I mentioned in my video before that one of Aaron Mokwena's first assignments has to be, how do we stop conceding goals? Like, how? I even posted a video about Cape Town City recently, and I said, them going to Toyando Stadium and winning 2-0 against Black Leopards, who had recently beat Orlando Pirates, that was not the glaring thing for me. The 2 goals, beating them at Toyando was not the glaring thing. It was the clean sheet. I was like, finally, you guys have a clean sheet. So if they can stop conceding goals, they finish much higher. Because of what I've seen so far, I think they finish 4th or 5th in the league.
Yeah, we might even have to get Adam Mukwena to come out of retirement and partner Tariq Felice there.
Might as well. No, but if you guys are free agent defenders, might as well raise your hands up. They've got a really look and Cape Town City, they have a really good team. But defensively for me, it's just because even Peter Livenberg, I actually rate Peter Livenberg as top 5 goalkeepers in the league. I really think he's really good, and yeah, I just think with a better solid backline, he concedes far less goals. So if they can improve on that, they finish much higher. That's what I would say about Cape Town.
Shakes, we're going to end off really soon, but really quickly, before we end off, just a quick prediction. I don't want any explanation because there's a Winter Derby coming up. And Pirates, give me a scoreline.
Scoreline 3-1 Orlando Pirates. And it hurts me saying that. But it hurts me saying that.
We won't publicize
Pirates. Yeah, 3-1 Orlando Pirates. That's my final score.
Well, guys, of course, don't forget to subscribe to All Things Football on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and get those likes clicked as well. Shakes, again, my man, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Like Sal said, we're definitely going to have to do another show with you in the future. And hopefully this is the first of many between All Things Football and our local guru. Shakes, thank you so much, my man, for coming on.
Guys, I appreciate the invite. Thank you so much.